for Louis Cato and the Late Show Band, everybody. Woo! Nothing like a live show. Yeah. Best. There's nothing like a live show.
Nothing like a live show, man. The energy is palpable.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, my guest tonight is a former congressman from Illinois who served on the House Select Committee to investigate January 6th and is now a senior political commentator for CNN. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Congressman Adam Kinzinger.
Well,
Here we are.
here we are.
Once again.
Not much is going on lately.
Nope.
Huh?
It's always nice to have you on, to have the perspective of a congressman who was a member of the Republican Party that I remember.
Right. Yeah.
Before Donald Trump. Now, on Saturday, there was an assassination attempt against the former president. You've received death threats over your politics and the things you've said about politics. What does this attack say to you about the state, well, where we are as a country?
Well, I mean, we're in a disastrous place. I mean, look, politics was invented for one reason, to prevent violence, right? This is why everybody's sitting around, it's like, hey, let's create a system where we can talk about our differences without actually turning to using guns or using violence or attacking each other. And unfortunately, our politics is broken down so much, and there's any number of people that can take blame for this, that we can't have conversations anymore. We now determine who our family and friends are based on what their political viewpoints are. I think we're in a really bad spot. And hopefully, as terrible as Saturday was, hopefully it wakes us up to the fact that we are all human beings and we can fight passionately at the ballot box. But that doesn't mean you take it outside of the ballot box. That's what democracy is all about. It's all about the ability to have differences and work through those differences.
Redress of grievances through political action.
That's right.
Okay, so everyone is talking, understandably, about lowering the temperature. What are you looking for in the president's speech on Thursday? What will be a sign for you that he's taking that advice himself?
Well, it would be a sign for me if he said, I'm not going to run, right? That would be a good one, but it's probably not going to happen.
Got odds on that one?
Pretty slim. Look, I mean, I think if he stands up and he talks about policy, he talks about issues, and talks about, basically gives a speech he's never given before, then that will be, to me, a sign that he wants to lower the temperature. And I truly hope he does. But again, I mean, even today, he put out a Truth Social that's like, I forget what it was, attacking Joe Biden, of course, and all the January 6ers who are really just hostages. Like, that's the thing to keep in mind is they are still defending, and you will see that this week, an insurrection against our Capitol that was violent, that attacked police officers, that attacked innocent people, and pretending like it never happened. Like, that can't happen in this country. We cannot have an attempted insurrection during a peaceful transfer of power and then act like it's the other side that's created an environment where there is violence in our discussion. No, look, we have to be serious about this. Peaceful transfer of power, treat each other well, and then we're going to be a successful country.
Well, tonight, earlier this evening, President Biden gave an interview on Lester Holt, on the Lester Holt Power Hour over on NBC. And he expressed in that interview words to the effect of, how do you speak the truth about the authoritarian tendencies of someone without inflaming any side, your side or the other side? How do we talk about where we are in this election without crossing the line between free speech and inflammatory rhetoric?
Well, and this is very important because what you're actually going to see right now, and you're starting to see a little bit on the Republican side, is trying to intimidate those around Joe Biden from telling the truth about Donald Trump. Look, anybody that is rational and sane knows when you say things like, we have to stop Donald Trump, or Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, that we're talking about dealing with that in a political context, not in a violent context. And in case there's anybody that thinks it's a violent context, let's make it very clear now. We're talking about a political context. But what we can't do, and this is what I get worried about, is that we're going to be intimidated away from telling the American people the truth, which is Donald Trump truly is a threat to democracy in this country. And we have to stop that. But we stop it at the ballot box.
Well, you know, I'm lucky enough you've been my guest, I think, 6 times now, but this is only the 2nd time you've been live. The first time you were live was on January 6th. You spoke to us from, Senator Klobuchar spoke to us, and you spoke to us from your office on Capitol Hill, right before you guys went back to finish your business. And did you ever imagine that day that you'd be seeing this man renominated at a national convention?
Oh, dear God, no. I mean, it's interesting. So Fred Upton, a congressman from Michigan, he has what we call the Upton prophecies, where he kind of like predicts what's going to happen in the future. And he told me on January 7th, he goes, Donald Trump's going to run again. And I'm like, no way. I don't believe it, Fred. Now, not only did Donald Trump run again, he basically cleared the field in the GOP. There's nobody that can speak out against him. I mean, he fully has cult-level control over the Republican Party now, and he has a good shot at winning the presidency. This would have surprised Adam Kinzinger of January 6, 2021, because I thought that America would wake up for certain, but I certainly thought the GOP would wake up from that. And look, if the GOP had just simply taken inventory of what they did and said, yes, this went too far, we are sorry, X, Y, and Z, I think we could move on from January 6th, but it's turned into a denial that it ever happened. And I gotta tell you, that's a very dangerous thing, to pretend like that violence never happened.
We have to take a quick break here. We're right back with more Congressman Adam Kinzinger, everybody. Stick around.